Okay, I guess I am live. So so thanks everyone for being here and thanks for watching. I haven't actually I haven't announced the show so far. I mean, it's all going to be on my it'll be on my channel and everything after we record, but just stand by 1 second. I'm going to actually put this on my Telegram, just see if we can bring in some more audience because I know people like to listen to my show live, and I didn't get a chance to advertise it because I wasn't sure when you guys were going to be,
Okay.
up available and everything. So I just was waiting. Stand by 1 second. It won't take long.
Kerry, would you rather do it later when you can maybe give them an hour shout out and do it later then?
No, because it's fine, actually
Okay.
the way it goes, because it's oh, they've decided to update my Telegram, so we have to wait for that. Okay, don't worry, because this is all being recorded right now. I've already started recording, so we're live. It's just a matter of posting that we're going to be doing the show right now. Okay. All right, here we are. So, hi everyone. I'm Kerry Cassidy from Project Camelot and very happy to be here today. So, I have two guys. I've got Jeffrey Adams and Lawrence Oberhue, and they both are representing wonderful products. And it turns out they're working together on some of the products, which is very cool. So, we decided to do a two for one kind of thing. And I advertised their products on my website already. So for those of you who want to, just get interested and buy their products, they're already on my front page. Now, my website has been under attack ever since I started talking about the Kennedy. Who knows? But anyway, for the last 6 or 7 days, but we're back up right now. So the website is working, projectcamelotportal.com. But welcome, guys. Lovely to have you here. Why don't you tell people what you're doing?
Well, we
Hello? Are you there?
in silver know the effectiveness of silver for general health. And before 1923, silver was the #1 prescribed antibiotic in the world, and it was highly effective. Big Pharma tried to patent it, and they couldn't because it was part of our monetary system. 3 years later, they discovered penicillin and have been trying to take silver out of the mainstream for health ever since. If you go back to the journals of medicine pre-1965, there was 5,000 references to silver in the journals of medicine, and now there's less than 100. And silver is a good product for bacteria, fungus, and viruses. They've used it in hospitals. They use Silverdene creams for burn. Johnson & Johnson started using Band-Aids with silver in it. So they know the effectiveness of silver. The drawback to silver was its limitations, being that it was unstable, that it reacted with light, heat, temperature. You had an imperfect product that was affected by its environment. And so at the Micronic Silver, we're the only people in the world that figured out how to stabilize silver organically without adding man-made chemicals to it. So ours stays in the body for 8 to 10 hours versus the other silvers are 6 to 8 minutes. So we're getting recognized as the only people in the last 100 years to create a new category of silver for health and medicine. And
Okay.
about 2 years,
Now,
was it 2 years ago?
can I slow you down a little bit because you kind of jumped into the silver thing, which is wonderful, but you didn't introduce yourselves. And so I need you to, one at a time, introduce yourself, but also tell people that you're driving across country to go be part of the Conscious Life Expo. Isn't that right?
That is correct. This is Larry Oberhue Carey, so from Fresh Mountain. So we did a spot a while back, but Yeah. So I'm Larry Overhue. Freshmouth is my company. With Jeff does silver. I do silver as well. We do a little different. So we do silver toothpaste, nano silver toothpaste, mouth rinse, and we have a whole brushing system that we built around that. But so yeah, we kind of travel around. We do a lot of trade shows, expo shows around the country.
We did the Reawake America tour. We did a lot of those.
Yeah, Reawakening, a lot of Patriot events, Red Pill, The Reckoning, and stuff like that. And then we also do like some spiritual, holistic, and wellness shows. So yeah, Conscious Living is in LA. It's a really, really big.
When is that?
That's February 9th through the 12th. And so we'll be out there. Right now we're headed to Barrett-Jackson. So we'll be at Barrett-Jackson in Arizona from the 20th through the 29th. Then actually we're going to Texas, where we'll be in Texas at the Autism Awareness Show. And then the Conscious Living after that. So we're kind of doing a little mini tour.
Yeah, the autism one's going to be awesome because Dr. Brian Artis is there, and Robert Scott Bell, and Judy Mikovits, and who's some of my formulation partners. So that's going to be a real powerful event. We're releasing some new products that work on autism, that stop seizures and stuff like that there. But we just figured we would make this West Coast trip. So Larry and I are going to be pelling around for the next month, going to 3 or 4 different trade show events. And a couple of them are in the holistic realm. The Barrett-Jackson is actually an auto auction. So we're trying to get out of get into the mainstream. And, there's a lot of people that are into the health stuff now. But we're trying to reach more people that are outside of the group that we've been traveling with, and try to educate people on a lot of the healthy products and the misconceptions that the AMA and CDC have put out there with people when it comes to natural health.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just I thought Larry was going to say something. So Larry and I met a couple of years ago. Actually, the day I launched my company, and he had the silver toothpaste, and I had my chronic silver, and we've kind of been traveling around together ever since. And it's kind of been a fun adventure. It's better than traveling alone most of the time,
For sure.
and I actually ended up formulating the mouthwash for Larry for his fresh mouth stuff. And we got some other things we're going to be working on in the future together. It's again, one of the things I like about what we're doing is, in the health movement that's out there now, we've gotten to know a lot of the scientists and doctors that are involved in it, and they love Larry's toothpaste and his company. They've accepted me and love our products, and have actually partnered with me on formulations on some stuff to get it out to people. And the goal is about educating people and getting them control of their health. And a lot of it starts with mouth and stomach. And that's where it ties in with, the toothpaste that Larry has, and my chronic dietary supplement that we have. So Larry takes care of as you chew it, and I take care of after you swallow it.
That's right. Happens to work real well together. So both being, pitch and silver products, it really is it's a good mix. It definitely, we help each other, and a lot of the kind of raises each other up at the shows.
I think it's awesome that you guys are teamed up. Now, just for my audience, I just posted in the Facebook the links to your site, and this will be also published on my actual page when we put this on Rumble and everything. I want to draw attention to the fact that I've just put a link to my former interview that I did with Larry Oberhue, which is a fabulous interview. If you haven't seen it, you should see it, because he really goes into detail, and I'm not sure we're going to have time, in this setting to go into as much detail as he did there. So encourage you to go on that link later after this show, and it's in the chat there. So what you haven't done is give your backgrounds. So let's get a little organized, and
Okay.
and let's do Jeffrey Adam first. What's your background, and how did you get into Mycronic? It's called Mycronic Silver. That's your website, Mycronic Silver. Is it called mychronicsilver.net?
Yes. Yeah, and actually, mychronicsilver.net or mychronicsilver.com, they go to the same website. So
Okay.
you don't have to be as specific. But I've lived in the Chicago area my whole life. Was a general contractor for 40 years at a construction company. Um, had about 27 crews running. And in 2007, when things got slow, I took a job doing some service installs for high-speed wireless in Chicago. And I had to go up to the high-rise buildings on the top of the buildings and set up these transformers. And I met a gentleman who was a nuclear biochemical engineer. He was one of 8 in the world. He had over 180 patents with the federal government. And it was about a 1 month project that I was there. And because I live in the suburbs, if I left at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, I got home at the same time because of traffic in Chicago. So I'd sit around for about an hour after work every day and talk to this brilliant man. I mean, and this guy was like 79 years old, and he would have his laptop open, and he would literally have um, like 40 windows open, and he would be doing calculations, but toggling between the windows and stuff. I apologize. We had another phone going off here. Um, but he would be doing calculations between the windows. And while I was working there, I got pneumonia about 2.5 weeks into the project. And I told him, I said, well, I can't talk to you today. I've got to head home. I've got to get to the hospital because I have pneumonia. And he's like, well, how do you know it's pneumonia? And he pulled out this little bottle of clear liquid and said, take 2 teaspoons of this and your lungs won't hurt you in the morning. And being the general contractor that I am, I know everything. So I argued with him for 20 minutes just to prove how stupid I really was. And he took the bottle out of my hand. He said, okay, fine, go to the doctor's. Why don't you want to do silver? And his response was, because silver's unstable. It's just like you. It doesn't get along with anybody. It doesn't like anybody. Nobody likes it. And so he always had to throw an insult in there with everything. And I was like, well, why don't you stabilize it? And he laughed at me and said, I've been trying to for 60 years. He says, if you're so smart, he says, what makes you think you can do it? And I was like, well, I don't know. I said, if that's an issue, that seems like one problem. Usually one problem is pretty easy to solve. And he just laughed at me. So about 6 or 7 months later, I've been studying, silver and the effects of silver and looking at patent researches all around the world. My partner, Michelle, her wife, had taken a trip to Israel, and she was at the Wailing Wall praying, and something hit me that the verse, the life is in the blood, start researching blood. So I hopped on my computer and I start researching oxygen retention in blood cells and molecules of hemoglobin containing oxygen. And Michelle called me and she's like, weirdest thing, she goes, I'm praying at the Wailing Wall here and there's nobody around me. She goes, but it's like somebody whispered in my ear, life is in the blood. She goes, I think we need to start researching blood. And I'm like, I'm actually on the computer doing it right now. And that started a 1-year journey of all this research. And a year later, she had actually went with a friend of hers back to Israel because she wanted to see some of the holy sites that she wasn't able to see. And just like the first time, I got this revelation in my head to start researching oxygen. And literally, as soon as I got on the computer and typed in oxygen, my phone rings and it's her. And she's going, I think we need to research oxygen. She goes, Jeff, I'm the only person here at the Wailing Wall. And I swear to God, somebody walked up to my ear and said, start researching oxygen. She goes, there's nobody here. You don't understand. I'm like, I just fired up the computer and I'm sorry, ozone. It was ozone, not oxygen. She goes, I just put in ozone just now. And so we started that. So we formulated an idea. And I called this gentleman back, and so now it's been. Well, we've talked every couple of weeks since then. Just stay in touch and asking questions. And then I said, hey, I think we figured out how to stabilize silver using ozone. And he's like, you're wasting my time. It doesn't want to be figured out. He said, oh, do you even know what ozone is? He said, ozone is as unstable as you are. It's just like silver. He goes, that's the craziest thing I ever heard. He's like, you know what? He said, just forget about it. So I was like, okay. So I just continued doing research. And about 6 months later, he called me and he said, I think I figured out how to stabilize silver. And I said, how is that? And he goes, using ozone. And I kind of just laughed. And I said, well, I remember 6 months ago, we had a conversation when I was talking about this. And he literally said to me, he goes, you didn't even know what ozone was. You might as well have said peanut butter. And I'm like, okay, I don't need credit for it. I said, but if it'll work, it's a great product, right? And he goes, well, we don't know. He said, it's a theory. So the theory proves out to be a theory. So now we have to verify the theory. Then we have to prove the theory. And he says, this is going to take some money. And he goes, I don't have that kind of money. Do you? I said, well, I had a construction company for a long time. I said, I had some money. I'm not wealthy by any means, but what are we talking about? And he said, well, about $7,000. So I literally hopped into my car and took a check with me and cut him a check for $10,000. I knock on his door and I give him the check, and he looks at the check and he looks at me and he looks at the check and he looks at me and goes, are you stupid or do you just not have ears? Now I'm thinking, oh my God, he said 70,000, which was definitely not what I had. And I said, you said that $7,000, right? And he goes, does this look like $7,000? Wow, you must really like to waste money. You're going to be a horrible businessman. And I was like, tell you what, just pay yourself. I said, if you need to buy a piece of equipment, buy a piece of equipment. He goes, well, that's stupid. He said, I could go out and buy $3,000 worth of gumballs. I said, well, then you'll be replacing your teeth in a couple of years. I said, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But if it'll work, let's do it. I went through that conversation with him 4 times or 5 times. Every time it was me giving him a check, every time him telling me I was stupid and wasting money. And, after about 7-8 months, was working together and going through different things that he couldn't do or that I couldn't do. He said, okay. He said, it'll work. I said, great, let's do it. He goes, no. He goes, the problem is the machinery to do what we need to do doesn't exist. And he said, and I can't build it. And I said, well, I'm a general contractor. I can build anything. Let me just get the schematics together. And I formulated that. Excuse me. And I built the machinery that restructures the ion and gets to create ozone in itself, stabilizing itself. And it worked. So we created a silver that stays in the body for 8 to 10 hours, unlike all the other silvers, which are actually 6 to 8 minutes. And then when the other silvers, when you swallow them, they get destroyed by stomach acid, creating silver chloride, destroying it. So ours works. Ours is also antiseptic, where the other silvers are not, meaning that ours works on contact because ours works outside the cell. So that's the long version of my background in silver. A couple years later, because that was in 2012. That by the time we got everything done, in 2019, God told me to give my construction company away, so I gave it away, and He said I'm supposed to be doing this, so we launched this company in 2020.
Okay, I'm asking our audience if we're still live. I think we are. I just want to make sure. So they're going to answer me. It flashed me something that said that we were not live, but maybe we are. But I'm recording this regardless, so don't worry. This is going on Rumble. I just wanted to make sure we're still live. Yes. Okay. People are saying, yes, we are live. So great. All right. So, okay, that was Jeffrey Adam and mychronicsilver.net or .com. And I've been trying to put the links in the chat. Hopefully they're still there. And you can also go on my website on the front page, and I'll have those links on there as well on the show, as well as in the middle of the site. And also on my Telegram, by the way, they're on my Telegram. So let's hear from Larry Oberhue. And by the way, Jeffrey, that's an amazing story.
Thank you.
Great. So, okay, that's Larry Overhue, Freshmouth, my company. Mine's quite not as funny as Jeff's, but so my history background. A lot of people ask me if I'm a dentist and all that stuff. I mean, I'm not. Actually, most dentists don't like me too much, so because I kind of go against the grain of everything that they kind of preach. So, it's kind of fitting because I think in today's market, everybody's kind of going the opposite way. It's like medical, right? I mean, nobody wants to really listen to the doctors anymore because all they do is push, medicines and actually chemical toxins that actually perpetuate illness.
Bill payment right now with the processing to get rid of PayPal, and we've got one that gives 15% of everything to anti-abortion clinics, and we have another Christian organization that we're going through. So I'm hoping, and right after I get back, that'll be done, and that one will have the international capabilities. But if they email it to us, their orders to us, we will find a way to get them the product.
Okay, and
I-
be sure to give me the email address so I can put it on the page where we're going to have this for people.
Okay, that email is orders, ORDERS, at mychronicsilver.net. And I believe on our homepage, when they go on, it's on there. It talks about if there's an issue with PayPal, they can send their emails there. Don't send your credit card information. We don't want it online. We don't want it, in the mailboxes. We just make sure you include your phone number and which products you want. We will call you within 24 hours. We ship the products out. So we'll call you for the payment, to get the card numbers to process it within 24 hours. If we don't get a hold of you, we'll leave a message. You can get back to us. But we have more and more people, especially elderly, that they don't even go to the website anymore. They just email us and say, hey, I want to get another order of this or that. And we don't store credit card numbers. So every time we'll ask for a credit card number.
Okay.
Yeah, and ours, like from the last time, we did get a lot of international stuff, and our site didn't even work. So again, for the international, if you just go to freshmouth.club, then they'll be able to process there. The website will come up. Everything works. So I mean, you can use it domestically too, but I mean, it's not. We're just not done like completing it. It's got some fine tuning, but everything works and they can order it. We'll ship. Everything is all set for it.
Well, if you look at where we opened our company in 2020. We actually opened it because we applied for emergency patent tested on our product for the virus, and they refused to allow it to be tested, even though if you nebulize with it, by the second inhalation, you started coughing up the phlegm. So that's what got us going in it. And your company you opened up right before mine, didn't you?
Yeah, we were just 2019, and really started going in 2020 in the back. So 21 was when we really started marketing and hitting it.
Right. So if you look at where our companies have gone from the times we started to now, I mean, we could not pay a marketing company to take us where we've gone. So both of us are growing and we're learning. I was in the home improvement industry, got into this, so I had to learn about manufacturing, and I didn't realize how much stuff I didn't know. So we're steadily, improving every step that we can take. We're doing it. So customer feedback is really important. When a customer lets us know, like it was our customers that let us know, and like, well, when we go on your checkout, we get PayPal. It's always trying to re-register us, and then we found out, well, they had a PayPal account in the past, so PayPal keeps trying to register them. So we'll always try to solve issues, but we need to know what those issues are. So we love feedback. We love customers saying, and please make it a friendly message, not like, you jerks, this isn't working. If it's not working, it's because we don't know it's not working.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you so much. And it's great having you here. And so come back on my show, please. Both of you stay in touch. And like I say, I'm putting your ad. What happened is I put your ad, the Mychronic ad, I put it on my Telegram. But the fresh mouth is already there, the ad on my site. In the middle part is where I put ads. And basically, if I don't interview the person, I don't promote products, only when I interview them. And just want to say the mychronicsilver.net is not there right this second. I'm going to put it on because it was on there, but they attacked us when we started talking about the Kennedy. So since Thursday of last week, they've been a lot. I mean, first of all, we were down for like 4 days, but my webmaster is like amazing and he got us back up. So we're back up now, but if you see it go down, it'll show up again. So don't worry about it. It'll, I'll put it back on because they're just messing with us right now. So
yeah, well, this is our chance to mess back with them. So by getting the natural products out there and educating people and, going this, and we are coming out with our deodorant. We are coming out with our bar soap, our skin cream, our cosmetic line. So we have a whole lot of stuff that's going to help people. And we try to make them as reasonable as possible. We will use only top quality products in there. But, like with our Mychronic Silver, when I developed it in 2012, I mean, the Ionic was 7, but the 2012, we have not raised our prices since. So we want to make it sustainable for people and affordable for people. And, when people get healthy, and we're the ones that get them healthy, they tend to remember that. We have about an 85 to 89% reorder rate of our product from our customers.
Great. Good to hear.
And
So
thank you for allowing me to come on here, by the way. I didn't thank you for that. So thank you for putting us on your platform.
of course.
Yeah, absolutely, Kerry. Thanks for having me back on.
Now, do you
Well,
remember when you met me?
yeah,
So we had a nice dinner that night with, who
yeah,
was the other woman
yeah.
with?
I met you at the Patriot, I mean, Reckoning.
Reckoning Fest.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. We had a great time.
Yeah.
And
So,
I
well,
wanted your
now you see
product
how far we've
then.
come. I mean,
I had to wait for your product because I don't know if you remember this, but I tried to get in touch with you right after that, and you didn't have your product quite ready or something like that. And so
well,
it's
I was still working. I was still working in the construction and doing this, and I didn't know if I knew you had a large outreach, and I didn't know if I could handle getting product to your customers. So
right.
I didn't want to get a bad name by not being able to deliver product. So it was too early. I mean, I really wish I would have done that because maybe it would have kicked me in the head where I would have said, forget the construction company. Let's do this. But no,
Right.
I appreciate you. And I've been so busy, and it was my fault because I neglected you, because you did reach out to me and I just couldn't do it at that time. So thank you
Well,
so
I
much for
just
not holding that
knew,
against me.
I knew right away that it was going to be great. And I also know, George Magazine, they also promote your products, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And Larry and I both partnered up with RNC, Richardson Nutrition Center, for the apricot seeds. So we now partnered up with him and AMP Media too. So I
Oh,
mean,
right.
we've got
Good.
some really good people behind us now that AMP Media, Chris Richardson, the CEO, she married John Richardson, and our product has made such a big difference in in our life. She's the one who talked to. I've known Gene Ho for a while, but she's the one who said, Gene, you need to put him on George, and then she's putting us on all AMP stuff, not even charging us, because she's like, it's made such a difference in my life with the products, and the same thing with Larry's product. She's like, we're going to get your product out there to everybody because it helps people, and they know that we're not all about the money. I mean, we yes, we need money. Yes, we do want to retire at some point, but our goal is to help people. When people are in pain, we can wait for money. When there's people in pain, they need relief right now.
Yeah, yeah. Gene's a pretty amazing guy. I mean, he's actually a testimony for us. I mean, or for me, he loves the toothpaste. His whole family
Yeah.
uses it, but he actually was one that he actually had a cavity and it actually healed over. He was just astounded by it. So that's why he was like, I got to get you in the magazine, got to get you out there. He goes, this stuff is amazing. So, and he's just a great guy, super cool guy
Yeah.
to meet.
Yeah, and he's another one where he wanted to get my product out there from the beginning and talk about it, but he wasn't ready to. So it was much like a situation with you and me, where he's like, he wanted to get George built up to a certain point, and then he called me, he goes, yeah, we got to have your product on here.
Right.
So, and Gene's been a very big proponent. I don't know if you've gone on my website, if your customers go there, they'll see there's probably 60 or 70 testimonies from people on how they use the product and how well it's worked for them. And I've got another 100 and 130 or so that I haven't even had time to put on there yet.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I can testify they're both great products. Okay. So thanks everyone for watching. Great to have you guys here. Please keep in touch, like I said. And, anything that makes life better for people, I think it's a wonderful thing.
Well,
Awesome.
thank you and God bless you. I do have to let everybody know, we pray over and bless every batch of product we have. So we believe it's the power of his spoken word that is the healing. And when you look at the scientists look at our micronic silver under a microscope, it looks different than any other silver on the planet. And I believe it's by the vibrational frequencies that we put into it for praying over the product. And we're getting more and more things, people all the time. I took it for this and it worked. And I'm like, okay, that's another one we can add to the list. So again, your feedback on it is very, very important. Thank you. God bless all of you, and safe travels.
All right. Take care. Safe travels to you guys. You're on the road, right?
Thanks, Kerry. Thanks.
All right, Kerry.
All right. Have
Thanks
a
a
great
lot.
day.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
All right.